everyone, welcome to S2G class online teaching platform. Please subscribe S2G class in YouTube channel and also press the bell icon to get all the upcoming videos. In this video, we'll study about pointers. A pointer is a derived data type in C language. Derived data type means a data type which has been derived from the built-in data types. Built-in data types are the readily available data types. So here a pointer is a readily available data types, that is a derived data types in C language. Next, a pointer is a variable which will holds address of another variable. A pointer is a variable that will holds a memory address of another variable. Pointers are used in C programs to access the memory and manipulate the address. In pointers we are having two operators, one is ampersand, another one is asterisk. So ampersand is called as address operator, asterisk is called as indirection operator or dereferencing operator. Now we will see one example. Here I have taken a variable a which is of data type integer int, and here I have assigned a value 10 to the variable a. Okay. Next I have taken a variable p which has been represented with the asterisk. When a variable which will represent with the asterisk, we call that as a pointer. And here this pointer is of int data type. And here p is equals to ampersand a. I told ampersand is an address operator. So here p equal to ampersand a means the address of this variable a will be stored in p. Ampersand a means address of variable a will be stored in a variable p. Okay. Next we will see how to declare a pointer variable. So now first we will see the syntax. First there will be a data type, then asterisk symbol, then a pointer variable name of the pointer variable. Here I have taken pt underscore name. First there will be a data type, then asterisk symbol, then a pointer variable name. There will be three things in while declaring a pointer variable, that is this asterisk symbol tells that the variable pt underscore name is a pointer variable. Okay. Next, this pt underscore name needs some memory location, and this pt underscore name, that is a pointer variable, is of some data type. Now we will see some example how to declare a pointer variable. This is the syntax and this is the example. Here the data type is int. Then we have to write asterisk. After that there will be a variable, that is a pointer variable. Here I have taken a pointer variable p. So like that, another example is data type char, asterisk, then a pointer variable is, here I have taken a pointer variable p. So this is how we have declared a pointer variables. Next we will see initialization of pointer variables. First I have taken here two variables I and p1. Here p1 is a pointer variable. How we will tell p1 is a pointer variable? Because this p1 is represented with asterisk symbol. Okay, and this I is an integer variable and this I and p1 are of hint data type. Here I have assigned the address of I to a pointer variable p1. Now we will see the variables. I have taken I and p1. Here I is having the address 5600. So the address of I is 5600. At this position I will be there, and the contents in I will be 35 contents. I holds 35 contents. It will be varying. Next is I have taken a pointer variable. So pointer variable is also a variable, so it will be having some address. The address of this p1 is 6000. Then how many contents this p1 is holding is 5600 contents. Next is a pointer variable can be initialized with the values null and 0. So that will be represented as a data type int asterisk symbol p. So this is a pointer variable is equals to null. So which means still this pointer variable is not yet assigned any memory address. So for every variable there will be address. So still this pointer variable p is not yet assigned any memory address. Next here int asterisk p is equals to 0. The value 0 is assigned to a pointer variable. Next is some pointers can point to different data variables in different statements. Now we will see one example for that. Here I have taken a data type int x, y, z asterisk p. These are declared in the data type int and these are the variables and this is a pointer variable. Here I have initialized or I have declared three variables x, y, z and I am passing the address of these three variables to a pointer p. You can see p is equals to ampersand x, that is the address of x will be stored in p. Next the address of y is stored in p. Next is the address of z is stored in p. Okay, so this is a pointer can point to different data variables in different statements. Next is different pointers can be used to point to same data variables. So here I have taken a variable x and I am going to declare these three pointers p1, p2, p3 of data type int. So here you can see a data variable x is the address of this x will be stored in this pointer p1. The address of x will be stored in pointer p2 and the address of x can also be stored in pointer p3. So different pointers and a single variable. Next is accessing a variable using pointer. So using the asterisk symbol we are going to access a variable and this asterisk symbol is called as indirection operator or dereferencing operator. Now we will see one example. Here I have taken three variables I and n are integer type variables and here star p, that is asterisk p, is the pointer variable. Okay, and here the value of I is 10. Next p is equals to ampersand I. So which means the address of I is stored in p. The address of variable I is stored in p. Next is n is equals to asterisk symbol p semicolon. N equal to asterisk p semicolon. So which means this will returns the value of variable I. So what is the value of variable I? 10. Okay. Address is different from value. Address is where the location of this variable. Value is that will be assigned to this variable. Address of this variable means the location of this variable. Value of this variable means the value that has been assigned to this variable. So here when we write n equal to asterisk p, that means this statement will return the value of the variable. This can also be written as n equal to asterisk ampersand I, that is the value of p. Ampersand I is the value of p. Okay, this can also be written as n equal to I. So when we solve this statement, this will returns the value of variable I. Video we will study about function calls. There are two types in function call. One is call by value, another one is call by reference. So first we will study about call by value. This is a small program for call by value, a program example for call by value. So here first there will be an header file #include stdio.h standard input output.header file. Next is the main function. So inside the main function I have declared two variables a and b. These two variables are declared in integer data type, and I have assigned values for a and b, that is 10 and 20 respectively. Next I have taken one function swap. So in swap I have declared two variables, int x and int y, both are integer data type. Here a and b are called as actual parameters, x and y are called as formal parameters. Next I have displayed the value of a and b. That is, here a is equals to 10 and b equal to 20 will be displayed. In the next, I have taken a swap function, that is function call from main function. Here I have taken formal parameters, that is int x and int y. These two variables are declared in swap function. So inside the function I have taken one variable temp, which is declared in integer data type. Here in call by value, we are sending values from actual parameters to formal parameters. That is, a copy of the values of actual parameters will be sent to formal parameters. Now the value of x is 10 and the value of y is 20. Here as I am assigning the value of x to temp. So the value of x is 10 and 10 will be assigned to temp. In the next, x equal to y. The value of y is 20. Here as I am assigning the value of 20 to x. So now the value of x becomes 20. In the next, y equal to temp. So here we got to know the value of temp is 10. So the value of temp 10 will be assigned to y. So now in the next we are going to display the value of x and y. Here the value of x becomes 20 and the value of y becomes 10. So this is just a simple swapping technique. Swapping is nothing but exchanging the value of variables. So here we have done a swapping technique and the value of x and y are displayed. So here in the output you can see the formal parameters x and y is swapped and the value of x becomes 20 and the value of y becomes 10. The actual parameters, these actual parameters are not disturbed by the formal parameters, so the values of a and b remains same. So in call by value, the formal parameters will just take a copy of values of actual parameters, and these formal parameters are not going to disturb actual parameters. We'll see in the example. Here you can see this is a calling function, that is nothing but a main function. This is a called function, that is here I have taken a swap. So swap is a called function. So here you can see this is the data. This is the actual parameters, or you can say this is the original data. So the copy of this data is sending to a called function, that is main function is sending a copy of data to a swap function. So now we'll see what swap function is going to do. Swap function will just swap the data. Swap is nothing but exchange. So swap function is going to swap the data. That is here the formal parameters we call that is x and y. This is a and b and this is x and y. These formal parameters after swapping is not going to make any changes to the actual parameters. So this is call by value. Next we will see call by reference. So same, in the first we are going to take an header file #include stdio.h. Next we will take main function. So inside the main function here I have taken two variables a and b, that is of integer data type, and the value of a is 10 and the value of b is 20. Next I have taken a swap function. So here inside the swap function I am sending the address of these two variables. That is, here these two are the actual parameters. The variables which are there in the main function are called as actual parameters. So here I am sending an address of these two actual parameters. In swap function I am sending address of actual parameters ampersand A comma ampersand B. In the next, I am going to display the value of A equal to %D, B equal to %D, that is the values of A and B. So now we will move on to the swap function. So in swap function, we are having two parameters, that is formal parameters int. Here we can see a variable which has represented with the asterisk symbol is said to be a pointer. In the previous slide I explained that a variable which is represented with the asterisk symbol is a pointer. So here inside the swap function, again I have declared a variable temp which is of integer data type. Here temp equal to asterisk x semicolon. So here I told you that the address of these two variables will be sent here. Okay, now the value of x is the address of A and the value of y is the address of B. Right. So here you can see the pointer x which is holding this ampersand A will be sent to temp. Okay. So now next is asterisk x is equal to asterisk y, that is pointer x equal to pointer y. So the value stored in pointer y will be sent to pointer x. Okay. So next is pointer y equal to temp semicolon. So the value which is stored in temp will be sent to pointer y. Okay, so now we will see. So in this pointer y, so in the previous slide I explained that, so this pointer y is nothing but the value of A. So how you tell x is equals to ampersand A, where asterisk x is equals to A. Okay, so the value of A is 10, so that will be sent to temp. Okay, so now temp is having the value 10. So here same like asterisk x, so the asterisk y, that is pointer y, is holding the value 20. So this value will be sent to pointer x. Okay, so now x is holding, x is having pointer x is having the value 20. So in the next point, pointer y is equal to temp. What we stored in temp? In temp the value 10 is stored, that will be assigned to pointer y. So here the values will be displayed. The values of pointer x and pointer y will be displayed. So in the output you can see x is equals to 20. So here we swapped, and y is equals to 10. So you can think how the value of A becomes 20 and B becomes 10. So that is, so in call by reference, when the values in the formal parameters changed, that will be reflected to the actual parameters. When the values in the formal parameters are changed, that will be reflected to the values in the actual parameters. Whatever the values that in formal parameters we got, that will be reflected to the actual parameters. So that I will show you. So here you can see, here this is the calling function, that is nothing but a main function. Here this is a called function, nothing but a swap function. So here calling function is not going to give any data, it is just showing the address of the data. Okay, the address of the data will be shown by calling function to the swap function. And the swap function is itself going to take the data and it's itself going to swap or exchange the data. So this will becomes as like in the actual parameters. Okay. So whatever the changes that are done to the formal parameters, that will be reflected to the actual parameters. So that is call by reference. So these are the two important function calls, call by value and call by reference. Next is chain of pointers. Chain of pointers means a pointer can point to another pointer, which means a pointer can hold the address of the another pointer. So that we call it as multiple indirections. Okay. So a pointer can hold the address of another pointer. So till now what we discussed, a pointer is used to store the address of a variable. But here chain of pointers means a pointer can store the address of another pointer. So that is known as multiple direction. So now you can see a pointer variable P2 contains the address of the another pointer variable P1. Okay. So next we will see one small example program for that. And here I have taken a header file. So that will be compulsory for any C programming. Include stdio.h. Next, main function. Inside the main function here I have taken three variables, where one is x is an integer variable and P1, P2, these are the pointer variables. So here I have assigned the value of x to 100 and P1 is equals to ampersand x. So what it means? The address of x is stored in P1, right? So the address of x is stored in P1, and here in the next line P2 is equals to ampersand P1. So that is the address of pointer P1 is stored in pointer variable P2. Okay, the address of pointer variable P1 is stored in pointer variable P2, and at the last printf, that is displaying P2. So what it contains, the output is 100. Okay, so this is called as which is also known as multiple indirection, that is pointer can point to another pointer. Next is pointer expressions. So here pointer variables can be used in expressions. So in mathematical expression we can use pointer variables. So here you can see I have taken two pointers P1 and P2 which are declared in integer data type, and here you can see here I have taken multiplication, multiplying two pointers P1 and P2. Okay, and the multiplication of these two pointers will be assigned, the result will be assigned in y, the variable y, and in the next sum equal to sum plus pointer P1. So the sum and with addition pointer P1 will be, the result will be stored in sum. Next is shorthand operators can be used with pointers. So here shorthand operators is like increment, decrement, minus. Okay, so these operate different types of operators we studied, and here I have taken two pointers P1 and P2 which are declared in integer data type, and in the next P1 plus plus. So this is, this is an increment operator which will be added with the 1, and here another operator minus P2, and next sum plus equal pointer P2. So how you will write this? Sum equals sum plus pointer P2. So this is how you will write this expression. Right. Next, pointers can be compared using relational operators. So we can include relational operators in pointer. Here P1 is greater than P2. Some of the examples: P1 equal to P2, P1 not equal to P2. So this is the pointer expressions. Okay. Next, so this is very important, pointer arithmetic. So here when a pointer is incremented, its value is increased by the length of the data type it points to. So this is called as scale factor. So which means when in the normal cases, when we include an increment to any variable, we just add it by 1, right? If it is a plus plus, that is nothing but a plus 1. If the value of a equal to 0, and if we are incrementing a, that is a plus plus, a becomes 1. But in the case of pointer, that is not true. So then how in case of pointer increment is going to happen is, I will tell you example. So here I have taken a pointer P, okay, and which is of which data type? Int. And I have taken one variable I, that is equal to 10. So the value of I is 10, and in the next line P is equals to ampersand I, that is the address of I is stored in P. Okay. Next, P equals P plus 1. So now let us consider the address of this variable I is 2800. Okay. Now then the pointer variable P holds the address of I, right? So the address of I is, address means the memory location where I is located at the address of 2800. Okay. So now this P will stores the address of I. Okay. So if the pointer variable is incremented by 1, if P equal to P plus 1, it becomes 2804. How? So this is the, what is the size of int? 4 bytes, right? So this will be incremented by the size of the data type. Okay, so in pointers, increment means the pointer will be incremented by the size of the data type which it has been declared, in which data type it is declared. Okay, so here you can see, here the integer I have taken int, and int is of size 4 bytes, so we have increased 2800 to 2804. Okay, 2804. So if it is incremented by 1. So I will take another example. Here you can see float. Here I have taken a pointer with the data type float and variable I equal to I, which has assigned a value 10, and same thing P is equals to address of I, and P is incremented with 1. So here in this example, let us consider I is there in the 1000th position, that is the address of I is 1000. Okay, so then pointer variable P holds the address of I as 1000. If it is incremented, it will be incremented to 1002, because the data type, the size of this float data type is 2 bytes. Okay, so that is 1002. Next, in the same, we have taken a variable, a pointer variable P, which is declared in char data type character. So I equal to 10 semicolon, P is storing the address of the variable I semicolon. Next, P is equals to P plus 1. P has incremented by 1. So here you can see the address of value I is 99. So here I have just taken an example. Here I is stored in 99th place. The address of I is 99th place. Okay. Then pointer variable P holds the address of I as 99th place. But when the pointer is incremented, it will be incremented by the value, that is size of the character. What is the size of the character? It is 1 byte and it becomes 100. Okay, so in pointer, increment is depend on the size of the data type. Okay.